Here are 5 things I don't like about my Nikon Z6. Check this out. What's up guys, Myung here from Prodigy Studios. Now I know that's a little bit of clickbaitish what I just said because of the fact that I actually love my Nikon Z6. But you know, every single camera has its flaws, right? I mean, there's no perfect cameras out there. Even in 2020, there's still cameras that has some flaws, and I'm thinking it's a marketing thing, right? They don't want to make the perfect camera because then if that's the case, their other cameras wouldn't sell, right? That's got to be it. But anyways, the very first thing that I don't like about the Nikon Z6, and I don't like using the word hate because hate is such a bad word for year 2020, right? We don't want to use hate this year. We want to use love. So let's change that word hate into, like, you know, disagree. What's so poo-poo about Nikon Z6? It's just anything different besides the word hate, right? Anyways, besides the point. So the first thing that I don't agree with my Nikon Z6 is the fact that every lens that you use with the FTZ adapter, it makes a grinding noise when it comes to video shooting. So this top 5 things I don't like about the Nikon Z6 is going to be for video shooting, because when it comes to photos, it's hard to find any flaw. I think it's great, almost perfect, but that's because I'm a big Nikon fan, right? I've been using Nikon for 18 years. But anyways, for video, the first thing I don't like about it is the fact that every lens that you use with the FTZ mount causes grinding noise when you're in full autofocus mode. So far, I have like about 10-12 lenses, but every single lenses, even third-party lenses, even though they focus really well and they work almost perfectly, it makes a weird grinding noise when the camera tries to focus on the subject. So that kind of sucks. You have to buy the Nikon Z lenses for it to not make a noise. I haven't tested that out, but you know, that's what everybody is saying. And because of the fact I have so much Nikon lenses that already works with my Nikon Z6 with a mount, I can't get myself to spend, you know, $2,000 for their 24-70 or $2,500. And you know, they're even prime lenses too. It's not as expensive, but I already have, you know, like this Nikon 50mm 1.4 and a handful of other prime lenses. So I can't get myself to like spend the money to get the same kind of lens just so that it doesn't make grinding noise, right? But it sucks that it's so loud that you could hear it when you're recording if you were to use the internal recorder. And sometimes I use the boom mic, the Rode mic. I got the DD3 mic, and then it'll catch, especially because of the fact it's right next to the gear right here. So that kind of sucks. Luckily, I'm gonna talk about my solution to the 5 things that I don't like about my Z6. My solution is that most of the time I end up using a wireless microphone anyways. Like when I'm shooting a wedding, when I'm shooting interviews, I have a wireless mic, a wireless boom mic also, that kind of is away from my camera, recording them a lot closer, which then you get better audio anyways, right? But still, it kind of sucks that if you want to use the internal audio recording, you really can't unless you go full manual, which, you know, you should go full manual too, right? But anyways, that's the one thing that I don't like about the Nikon Z6. Now, the second thing I don't like about my Nikon Z6 is the fact that when you're shooting video, it will record up to 30 minutes at a time. So I have shot events recently that is an interview video where they're talking for hours. So then I would have to, you know, stop the camera and be sure to remember to stop the camera. There was a couple of times where I just kind of forgot because I'm using like 3 cameras at the same time to get multiple angles, and then I have to go and run and hit the record button, kind of losing a little bit of time. And yes, you can just stop and record before that 30-minute hits, but still, you know, I mean, it's 2020. Every camera should be able to record forever, non-stop, but you know, until the memory card runs out. But I don't know if it's because they're trying to stop it from overheating because the sensor's so big. But I know like Panasonic has a full sensor and it can shoot forever, but I know it has like a vent system too, right? So maybe it's to cut costs down. And the solution for that is I also own a Adamus Ninja 5. And with that, if you were to record internally on your external recorder, then it could record beyond 30 minutes into your SSD drive that's in your recorder. So there is a solution for it, but you do have to buy that $800 recorder. So that kind of sucks a little bit, you know. So the third thing I don't like about my Nikon Z6 is the fact that it doesn't shoot log internally. It has a flat picture profile, but it's not the same. It's basically your standard picture profile with just the contrast and saturation and all this other information just kind of toned down a bit. And then it gives you room for you to put some colors into it, you know, make some corrections. But it's kind of useless because then you're kind of putting back that information just to get the standard color look that it creates by itself. So it's not like log. Log is a true dynamic range, flat profile that it allows you to get the maximum dynamic range from your camera, right? But the flat is just kind of like toned down, colored picture profile. So it's kind of not the same. So it kind of sucks that it doesn't have log. And I'm pretty sure it'll eventually happen, right? I mean, as a matter of fact, a Nikon Z6 II is coming out soon, and maybe they might have log. I don't know. Maybe it has to be a different camera, but we'll see. We'll see if that happens or not. So that's the solution to that is, once again, with my Adamus Ninja 5, then it allows you to record in log when you're recording to the external recorder. And it's so nice. Like when you're shooting log and then you fix the colors, the skin tone is super nice and the color just looks very cinematic. But luckily, the video that comes straight out of my Nikon Z6 is already very nice. So because of that, I don't color too much into it. I don't make too much adjustments with colors because I kind of like the way you look. So that just, you know, mess around with a little bit of contrast and exposure. So luckily it's nice coming straight from the camera. All right, so the fourth thing that I don't like about my Nikon Z6 is that it's got a very low bitrate information. So if you are shooting HD at 24p, it's only 28 megabits per second. And yes, if you shoot in 4K, then it kind of, you know, grows into like, I think 144 megabits per second, but that's only because it's 4K. It's not actually putting in more information, more bitrate into your video file, which then the problem that it causes is if I was to, you know, color the sky, for example, over here, and there's like this nice looking gradient, and I decide to put some teal and orange into it, it could easily break. You're gonna start seeing like this little pixelated images over the color, kind of destroying it. So you end up not, you know, putting that color into it because you want to preserve that gradient. Because I mean, right out of the camera, the gradient looks amazing. You'll see a smooth gradient from, you know, sunset to the blue if you were to just use straight from the camera without making color adjustments. But once you start putting some cool colors into it, then it starts breaking. So, you know, maybe the next camera might have a bigger bitrate, but you know, it's their first time really, you know, Nikon trying its best to have a video camera slash photo camera hybrid, so it's not that bad. And luckily, like I said, like I keep saying, the video that comes right out of the camera, it looks nice, so we could just keep it as is if you have to. But the solution to that is, once again, if you have the Adamus Ninja 5, it sounds like as if I'm trying to sell you the Ninja 5, but if you have this camera, you want the Ninja 5 for video. For photo, you don't have to worry about it, but if you got the Nikon Z6 for video, get the Adamus recorder because it unlocks a lot of cool features from this camera and makes this camera into a very competitive, you know, just a badass video camera. So, you know, invest into that if you invest into the Z6. So with that, with the Adamus Ninja 5, you get the ProRes. And if you spend an extra $200 and send this back into Nikon, you get the ProRes RAW, which I haven't done yet, but one of these days I will. Something's gonna push me to get it. So when that happens, I will then get it. But you know, the video that comes out of the Adamus Ninja that's connected to the Z6, It's great. It's ProRes, high HQ. It then has a lot of information in the video, so you can make a lot of dramatic color changes. So at least it unlocks that with the Atomos Ninja 5. So the very last thing I don't like about my Nikon Z6 is the fact that when you're using an external monitor, it doesn't showcase the information that's on your camera. So it has a clean output to an HDMI monitor, but I wish, like my GH5, it has an option for you to turn that on or off, right? Because yes, it's nice to have it off, because if you're using it as a zoom webcam, which I've done many times, if you use it as like just a recorder, and you want the person who's looking at the director screen to not have to see that information that's in the back of the camera, then it's nice. But it's also nice that when I'm using an external monitor with my camera to shoot video, I want that information on my monitor, on my external monitor. Because as of now, because it's so clean, every time I hit record, I have to kind of make sure, look down on the bottom screen to make sure that the red dot is blinking and that it's recording, and that my other, you know, information is correct, like my aperture or shutter or things like that. So I end up using the external monitor to make sure that everything is in focus, but I always have to look down, you know, to make sure that every other information is correct. So that kind of sucks, because I would like to just, you know, stick to that one monitor and not have to worry about the bottom one and get everything that I need in that monitor. So maybe a new firmware update will fix it. Maybe the Nikon Z6 II that's coming out will fix it. I can't wait to see what things that they fixed. But for the fact that they just said it's a Mark II, and by the way, that's Nikon's first time that I could ever remember them using the term Mark II. That's a Canon thing, that's a Sony thing, but they've always done it where, like, for Nikon D750, if they made a small adjustment, it's called D760. But a Mark II, we'll see. Maybe they got a new marketing team or something. But anyways, I'm kind of hoping that the Mark II of Nikon Z6 will fix some of the issues that I've mentioned in this video. So anyways, if you guys haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate your support. Thank you for watching all the way through, and I'll see you guys next time.